Following Emperor Palpatine's death at the hands of Darth Vader on the second Death Star, the Galactic Empire began to quickly fall apart. The New Republic stepped into the role of galactic government, but it was the infighting that broke down the Empire so quickly. As a result of the continuous conflicts for control, the Empire was no longer strong enough to challenge the unified front of the New Republic. So hit that like button and let's take a look at the Imperial Remnants and what happened to the Empire after the Battle of Endor. The destruction of the Death Star over Endor left the Imperial Navy in disarray. Not only was their assured victory now a decimating defeat, but they had lost their latest superweapon, their fearless leader, and Lord Vader's flagship, the Super Star Destroyer Executor. Admiral Ray Sloan, now the senior officer in the Imperial Navy, followed established emergency protocols and ordered the surviving captains to retreat and regroup in the Anaj system. Imperial ground forces deployed on the Endor moon were abandoned as a result of this withdrawal. Many surrendered to Alliance forces, while others launched guerrilla attacks. Pathfinders from the rebellion spent weeks hunting and destroying these hiding soldiers. And years later, rumors persisted Imperial troops were still camped out in the Endor forests. Under the false impression the war was over, many worlds across the galaxy rejoiced at the collapse of the Empire. But the Imperials continued the fight for another year before the Civil War officially ended. During that time, the military might of the once powerful Empire began to splinter. As a result of the internal struggle for power in the wake of the Emperor's passing, several Imperial groups broke away from the Empire to exert control over their own regions. In order to keep from providing legitimacy to the New Republic, some remnants banned any reference to the new government, insisting they were still to be considered rebels. Others claimed they were a terrorist group that had to be stopped before they could invade and conquer Imperial worlds. In the Velkar sector, Governor Ikresis locked down communications to ensure word of the Empire's defeat did not reach the population, but he had to eventually decree news of the Emperor's death was rebel propaganda. And some even refused to acknowledge the Emperor's death for many months after the Empire's defeat at Endor. The final offensive of the Galactic Civil War began 1 year and 4 days after the Battle of Endor in the western reaches of the Inner Rim on a remote desert planet known as Jakku. Palpatine had prepared a contingency plan in case of his untimely death, and had identified the planet as the site for a trap. Counselor Gallius Rax was to carry out this contingency, which included destroying the planet, the New Republic fleet, and most of the Empire's remaining forces, which Palpatine blamed for not defending him well enough. However, worthy Imperial officers and crews had been selected to rebuild a new empire. Prior to the destruction of the planet, these chosen would receive secret evacuation orders and rendezvous coordinates in order to begin the next phase of Emperor Palpatine's plans. Executing the contingency, Rax stationed the Imperial Navy and Army on Jakku, drawing the Republic in. The Imperials believed they were making a last stand, but Rax's goal was to destroy as many forces as possible on both sides. Believing they had caught the remaining Imperial fleet, the New Republic initiated the largest battle of the Galactic Civil War. Palpatine's contingency relied on Rax sending a large collection of Sith artifacts down a borehole to the planet's core, triggering the destruction of the planet and both fleets. Before he could complete the plan, Rax was killed by Grand Admiral Ray Sloan. In his final moments, Rax relayed the contingency plan to Sloan, placing her in charge of completing the Emperor's plans. Shutting down the self-destruct, Sloan then executed the remaining elements of the plan, sending rendezvous coordinates to the worthy Imperials and heading with them and the Emperor's personal Star Destroyer, the Eclipse, into the unknown regions. The destruction of the Ravager, the Empire's flagship, solidified the New Republic's victory, which ended the military conflict. The New Republic forced Grand Vizier Amida to sign the Galactic Concordance, a peace treaty which ended the political conflict. The Concordance imposed strict disarmament agreements, forced the Empire to remain in defined territories, required the payment of reparations, and turned control of Coruscant over to the New Republic. The elation of the galaxy was short-lived, as the New Republic began dismantling the New Republic Defense Fleet and established a government based on common goals. Some worlds agreed with these goals, while others wanted more order and support against the criminals, pirates, and warlords that had flourished under the Emperor's reign. The Concordance established a functional state of worlds Imperial citizens could develop. However, factions inside these Imperial territories quarreled among themselves over many issues, from establishing relations with the New Republic to which elements of the Imperial past should be retained. In the Outer Rim, New Republic rule was hypothetical, creating a void easily filled by Imperial supporters looking to return to power. Pocket governments known as Imperial Remnants appeared almost overnight. In spite of the Concordance stipulating the decommissioning of Imperial naval ships, a large number of warships and fighters fell into the hands of Imperial warlords, such as Moff Gideon. The centrist group in the New Republic quickly rose to prominence in the inner worlds as Imperial support on these worlds vanished almost overnight. Demanding a powerful government and military, the centrists secretly supported the First Order. Built from the worthy Imperial officers who fled Jakku, the First Order emerged from the Outer Rim as the one Imperial remnant that could challenge the New Republic. Viewed as a non-threat, many leaders in the New Republic saw the First Order as nothing more than a distraction to galactic construction efforts, while others warned the First Order were more threatening than they appeared. Senator Leia Organa Solo warned of the First Order threat, but the majority of the Senate disagreed. Understanding the New Republic would not be able to protect itself from the Imperial Remnants and the rising First Order, she gathered all the supporters she could find and created the paramilitary outfit now known as the Resistance. The Mandalorian has done a great job of setting up and showing us Moff Gideon's remnant, and I hope this and other series or movies will continue to show us more of what is happening with these remnants in the future. There are a lot of stories that can be told inside this framework, and I'm excited to see what, if anything, Lucasfilm will explore here. If you have any thoughts on Imperial Remnants, please drop a comment below. I always like to read what others are thinking and theorizing about regarding the Star Wars universe. Thanks for watching, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. For more Star Wars content, click on a video on the screen, and I will see you in the next one.